I just remembered that the dad's dad, like Satan's dad, was Rodney Dangerfield.
Rodney Dangerfield, yeah. And he says his famous line, I got no respect, or
Yeah,
I can't get no respect.
You are listening to Wicked Psychotherapists, a podcast where two psychotherapists show you that taking care of and learning about mental health doesn't have to be wicked hard.
Hi guys, it's Tanya.
It's Erin, and welcome to Wicked Psychotherapists.
Yeah, welcome. So we are back after a little bit. I was feeling a little sick. I don't know if anybody, we had some reruns and stuff, some oldies but goodies kind of playing, I think.
Yeah.
And we still had some stuff going. But yeah, we're back, and we are in the midst of fall. As you can see, if you're watching this, I have a whole pathway to fall in back of me.
Yes, Tanya's going on a walk later, I guess. Like,
yeah,
if you
out
can see her background.
There's so many people who, when they see this, they're like, wow, you really like fall, huh? And I'm like, yeah, I do. I do not try to hide that. I got all my like weird little pumpkin knick-knack things, a fox, a light up mushroom, which I didn't turn on, but some white pumpkins over here. Yeah, so my house is pretty berserk, but yeah, so enjoying fall and everything, and we are on theme because today we're going to talk about Little Nicky with, of course, Adam Sandler. He needs no introduction anymore on this podcast.
We're just going to change the podcast name to Adam Sandler.
Adam Sandler, psychotherapists.
Yeah.
Psychoanalyzing Adam Sandler's in all his movies.
One movie at a time.
Yeah, that would be pretty awesome, yeah. But yeah, it's this admittedly was not one of my favorites. I think if you've listened in the past, I think I brought that up. We talked about that. But actually having rewatched it and realizing it was just maybe Adam Sandler's character's voice that really bothered me. Something about I usually like Adam Sandler's characters, like in their voices, but something just distracted me. It wasn't too bad. I actually am more in the middle now. So I have been changed. So this was a good thing, I think, that I rewatched it and had a different lens on it.
Yeah. His voice in puffer jacket.
Yes, and the oversized puffer jacket where he looks like a little penguin. Yeah, and his hair is all like shoot down in his eyes.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's so this came out in 2000, so there really shouldn't be any spoiler alerts. I mean, we've done this whole rigmarole. We know this, right? If you don't want to hear about it or have anything ruined, go ahead and watch it. Pause.
Right.
First, but more than likely you've watched it. They're coming here.
Yeah, it's Halloween time.
Yeah. Yeah, we're trying to So this is the story of, it's got a lot of family dynamics, interrelationships, staying true to yourself are some of the common themes, because Little Nicky is the main character, Adam Sandler. He is Satan's son. This is set in hell, and it's just kind of funny in and of itself. Now that I think about it. And yeah, he stands out from his two other brothers who are, who really want to take the throne, and they kind of are pretty vicious, pretty mean, devious. And Nicky is very kind. He's very different from his brothers. He's not someone who really is into like violence or, just being gratuitous, like, meanness and just trying to make others feel bad. And so he kind of stands out in hell for that, because that's not really traditionally how people in hell are, I guess.
He's not big on the torture component of hell. Yeah. He likes to just hang out in his room, listen to metal music or whatever he's doing, and just basically it seems like he's like a teenage rebellious kid in hell.
Yeah. And he's not interested in taking over the throne, and like meanwhile his brothers Adrian and Cassius, I hope I'm saying that right.
I think it's Cassius.
Yeah. Cassius are like drooling and like trying to like wait for their father to get off the throne so they can just take over. And yeah, so you really right from the start see kind of that line drawn between not only within the family, little Nicky is different from his brothers, and his father is Satan, so probably different from him, even though Satan seems to really like Nicky and really kind of empathize with him, which is odd, being Satan.
Yeah, his youngest son, he has a little sweet spot for him.
Yeah, because you cannot. He's a very sweet personality. He's very trusting. He's kind of naive. He's got like a speech impediment, which we find out is because of Cassius hit him in the head with a shovel, which is just so cruel, and like kind of smashed his jaw. And I feel bad not liking that voice, like knowing that the character, like that's how that happened, but it just bothers me. But the character, like how he got that, I feel a lot of sympathy for, obviously. So I know we're just speaking about characters here. I know this is not true.
We always have to remind Tanya it's a movie.
Yeah, no, it's true. Even at home,
she gets emotionally invested in poor Adam Sandler's characters.
I do, and I do this with other characters too. Like my husband always has to remind me, like, you're watching a show or a movie, and I'm like, oh yeah. But yeah, so we see this contrast. Nicky is very different, obviously, and Satan, their dad makes an announcement. The two brothers who are like power hungry, Cassius and Adrian, are like, oh, he's gonna, abdicate the throne, or like give up the throne, and then one of us can take it. He decides he's not going to. He's gonna stay there. And so the brothers are like, hey, all right, well, we're gonna like take over, and we're just gonna like mess up the earth. We're just gonna go to the earth, and they kind of commit like a sin that has some terrible consequences by going through the portal, reverse going in, and then it doesn't allow for the portal gets, I guess, messed up. People can't come in.
Yeah,
so
it's
Satan
almost like
can't feed off of them.
Yeah, it's like the fire waterfall, whatever it is, like closes up, so then people can't go to hell. So then the dad starts losing limbs and parts of him.
He like degenerates or something. Like he needs like the souls to like stay fully Satan or something. Like he needs fresh new
meat. I guess so. Fresh new people coming, and then they're all just staying on Earth so the brothers can take over Earth. I don't know.
They just want to wreak havoc. They just want to cause, like, they just want a chance to rule and with an iron fist and just take over and be cruel and mean, because they're both cruel and mean. And so Nicky has to become kind of the hero, save the day. And his dad's like, look, you got to help out. I'm like turning into like an arm. He's just like, he's like an eyebrow at some point. And he's like, you got to go up to Earth. You got to like bottle your brothers back so it can like restore the portal or whatever. And I can be back to this. And Nicky loves his dad. So of course he wants to, but he's scared. He's like, I guess I'm the only person that can do it. He's very sensitive. He's very kind of emotionally maybe gentle, I guess, just such a contrast to his brothers. So he has to go figure out, he's never been on Earth, right? Like this is his first time going to Earth. Yeah. So he's got to figure out like kind of how to navigate the Earth and be on like an earthly, although I guess if he is in hell, wouldn't he have had to okay, I'm not even gonna, I'm overanalyzing.
No, he's never been to Earth because he was probably
born in hell, right? Like
It's weird because, I'm sorry, I'm going to skip ahead because, like his mom is not in hell, but, and she was never born or alive. So I don't know. I guess the dad just got custody or something, because the mom seems a little emotionally immature.
Yeah, she has some growing to do, some growing ups to do. So
yeah,
maybe she just kind of felt like, or like, oh, a boy needs his father kind of thing or something. I don't know, like that type of thinking.
Even if the father is Satan.
Yeah, right. She's like, oh, that's fine. But yeah, so I guess he was never like a human. So he's never.
No, he was never. Yeah, he's not a demon, but I guess I don't know what he is.
He's like Satan's child or something.
Yeah, but
and the angel's child. But Satan was even a fallen angel, so he's like kind of two.
Yeah, he's two angels.
This is just.
We are going to overanalyze poor little Nicky. He's actually an angel.
Yeah.
But this was his first time on Earth. And yeah, the first couple times he kind of kept dying and messing up. So then they realized that he needed a guide. So I don't know if they make the dog or the dog is a demon or something, but he ends up being his little friend, helping him figure out, like, this is how you eat. This is how you don't get killed every
Mr.
5
Beefy,
seconds.
The bulldog, right? Was he a bulldog?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Mr.
think he was a
Beefy.
bulldog.
Yeah. He's just like, he's a talking, yeah, he kind of guides him, and yeah, he's awkward. I mean, because he's kind of awkward in hell too, but he's definitely awkward on Earth.
Yeah.
So he's got to navigate that, and then he's got to locate his brothers and kind of find signals like, oh, if there's, because his brothers can like shapeshift or like kind of change form, so he wouldn't be able to necessarily spot them, and he's got to find them somewhere. So somehow he's able to he tracks down Adrian. He's got to trick them into going into like this magical flask or whatever to like bring them back in. I guess they get trapped in there. Adrian's an easy catch. He's kind of falls for it and drinks the drink. But Cassius is a different story. He's really wanting to like go and be on TV and be the pastor and kind of tell people like, oh, God is bad, and like he's trying to like influence all these people to follow him to be Satan. He's like literally just trying to make another cult.
Like one pretends to be a mayor, one is the pastor or whatever, and it's just
wherever they're standing, like their feet are on fire because they're
so it's like, oh, okay, so I know that this person, because they have to stay, they think Earth is too cold. So that's why Nikki's in this stupid puffer jacket, like in summer.
Yeah, they're not used to the temperatures, the kind of mild temperatures, I guess, that are like the inferno of hell. But and Nikki is, throughout you can see that he's his journey on Earth, you can see that he's just not like, I think the first 5 seconds he gets like hit by a bus or something like that. Like that was the first...
like a train or a bus or something. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was a train. Because he's like, he doesn't even really know what they are. He doesn't.
He's like, oh, what is this like?
Yeah. Dad's like, oh my God, like it's just, and then every time he comes back to hell, because he has to keep getting sent back because he dies and then he has to be sent back. His dad is like reduced to like another body part, or like another body part has left, and he's just like a pelvis at a certain point.
Yeah.
But he's
talking face or talking lip or something.
He's just determined to, but he really wants to help his dad. He really wants him to be restored, because he knows his brothers will be cruel and not considerate. Like, it's kind of weird to say, but he knows his father Satan is somewhat, I guess, like, has some fairness to his cruelness, whereas his brothers are just all out like having fun and on power trips, just trying to wreak havoc everywhere they go.
Yeah.
And so he really wants to stop that, and he really cares about his dad. And in the meantime, we meet some characters. We meet the loyalists, like the metalheads or whatever, who are just like willing to follow Nicky anywhere. They see that he's like different and special, and they're like kind of like, I don't know, fascinated by demons. They recognize that he's like that, and they're just like always rooting for him, kind of following him around. Their fans.
and it's two of the guys that we usually see from a lot of, like, almost all of his movies.
Yeah. Like, he's got his whole gang in there. He definitely does. He's got Kevin Nealon is in there. Rob Schneider is in there at some point.
Henry Winkler.
Chubbs, yeah. He appears when Nicky, he finds out that his mom is an angel. How does he get sent to heaven?
He does he do something? Well, he's always doing good. I can't remember how. Maybe he died one other time, and I don't know. I don't know what he did, but
he did something really good.
Yeah, he ended up going to heaven instead of going back to hell. And then he met his mom, and there's all these angels, and they're like Valley Girl angels, and they're just so excited. And then Reese Witherspoon, who is Holly, who is the angel, tells him that she's his mom, even though she's like younger than he is, or looks younger. And his dad is like, looks old, but she explains that she met him his dad was I forget how she met the dad, but she just thought he was like so cool and neat. And and then Chubbs comes and like he like introduces himself, and I guess Chubbs is their dance instructor, and like even like has like the same line from like Happy Gilmore, like it's all in the hips. So it's kind of fun, and it's yeah, that part is kind of neat. And then like he's like, oh, like he doesn't stay up there. He goes back to Earth. But he now he knows, he's like, oh, I'm part angel. I'm half angel, half devil.
Yeah, which kind of makes sense as to why he is really good and really different from his two brothers, because he knows like, oh, I'm part angel, right? And so for him, I think that was kind of important for him to kind of not feel so different. Like he knew he was different, and he like couldn't he was always constantly surrounded by like the differences, and I think that kind of like resolved something maybe in his like identity, just knowing that, because he was kind of a little bit in like an identity crisis, kind of being like, why am I not, like he was kind of always surrounded by it.
Right.
So that was probably good for him. Yeah. But yeah, just a lot of ridiculousness in the movie, but pretty, pretty funny and entertaining. Yeah. And so Nicky is determined to get his brother Cassius, and he goes through all these hijinks. Cassius is like really, really trying to, trick him, and, they kind of go back and forth for a while. He meets somebody, the design student, Valerie, Patricia Arquette plays her, and she's like, kind of a little goofy, a little off,
a little nerdy, and she's kind of, she seems like she's just very, nerdy, and just doesn't really fit in where she's working or where she's at, and I think she just recognizes, like Nicky's sweetness, and I think that's what his awkwardness too. I think that she kind of likes that. It feels familiar.
Yeah, they kind of bond over that. And then of course his brother, when he like first, or like, maybe the second time meeting her, sees him and like jumps into him or like makes him say some awful things to her, or like perverted things, and so she gets a little scared away, but then she soon realizes like, oh, that's not who he is, kind of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, eventually it ends up being, kind of, it's kind of like a battle of good versus evil, sort of, and good prevails. There's, Ozzy Osbourne shows up because Cassius somehow takes the form of like a bat, and so who's gonna, the secret weapon, Ozzy Osbourne.
Because Holly the angel gives Nicky like something like that's like a secret weapon, like I forget, is it a gem or something? I forget what it is, but it's
the gem. I think it was like a gemstone or something.
Yeah, and then it's like then he uses it at the end, and then Ozzy comes out of it, and then Signature grabs the bat and eats the bat, and then of course the metalheads are like, Ozzy, like they're so excited to see him, and I think that's really funny that they had that, and then he saves the day.
Yeah, and he's able to restore things back in hell, bring them back, and his dad is, kind of like realizing with his son, and it's funny because his dad is really, he really does care, and he really does see what's best for Nicky, and he's like, since you're kind of made of, the above heaven and the below, maybe you need to kind of maintain things and be up in the middle, right? You'll kind of be like, that will be your place. And he was always kind of looking for his place. He didn't really have one in hell. He was just kind of different. Like he was okay just kind of being in his room, but he just didn't really fit in. And so I think his dad saw that like, oh, well, you met someone and maybe you could just go maintain that and be there. That could be your place.
Yeah, take care of the in-between.
Yeah.
And then that way you have your mom watching out for you, and I can look up for you. And he probably knew, like, it's not like Nicky's going to solve world peace or anything there, but he's going to not get picked on by people and just, be happy. And that's nice too, that the father recognizes that and is trying to, just, okay, I know, Nicky's not going to rule hell. And so let me just try to find a nice place that he can live with his girlfriend.
Yeah. He really cares for him. It's a nice kind of happy medium, and that helps to work out, the fact that that dynamic with his siblings, he's not always going to feel like in their shadow, or like he always has to kind of walk around being small around them. He can have his own place, and he cannot feel like out of place, because he is out of place in hell. He doesn't fully belong there. So it kind of resolves a lot of that family relationships, the identity crisis, and so he kind of has his own place, and then Satan restores kind of, he's a more he's a wiser choice, I think, for Satan, because he kind of seems to not be so impulsive like the brothers or whatever.
And he's already been doing it for 10,000 years, he says, and he wants to do it for another 10,000. And I thought it was funny too. I just remembered that the dad's dad, like Satan's dad, was Rodney Dangerfield.
Rodney Dangerfield, yeah. And he says his famous line, I got no respect, or can't get no respect. So I was like, oh, wow, lots of classics in here.
Yeah.
Yeah, there were a lot of people in there that were just so classic. But
poor Henry Winkler got attacked by bees twice.
Oh yeah. He was kind of the sacrifice for like for the second time. Nicky, in order to go back to hell, he had to do something kind of bad.
Really, really bad. He's like, sorry, Henry. And then Henry's like, I understand, or something. It's like,
yeah, it was really good. I mean, to have like all the appearances of all those people. Pretty classic.
And then we were talking too. It's like even Quentin Tarantino was like the crazy pastor or something, reverend around the street, like talking to everybody about, like hell and whatever. And then he sees Nicky the first time. He's like, he's the devil. That he keeps getting injured and falling and getting hurt, and it's funny.
Yeah, there's a lot of comic relief, a lot of big names. It's funny because I did read that this got nominated for like the Raspberries Award, like that like awards the worst picture, worst actor. Like it won.
That's funny.
For
really? Well,
like the movie and for Adam Sandler, the actor, and even Patricia Arquette got worst supporting actress, worst director, and worst screenplay. Wow.
Oh, that's funny. Well, I mean, it wasn't the best. I mean, it's not like it wasn't silly. It wasn't a brilliant movie, but I mean, and maybe he even purposely wanted it to be like, this is just a joke. This is just so bad.
I think so. I think he kind of maybe thrives on that a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Like that. Yeah. He seems to kind of like that. Mm-hmm. And it won for worst fake accent too. I didn't see that.
Really?
But,
on him? Oh, I didn't. That's funny.
Yeah, which was. But
I do think there was some. His voice was the worst. I wonder if he accepted it. If he actually went and received his award.
It doesn't say, but they definitely. I don't know if that's just like symbolic. I don't know, but like he got a lot, and he lost to some pretty crappy like Battlefield Earth that year. What was it? Road Trip with Tom Green. Just like really Wilson in Castaway, like the volleyball. It lost to that as a character, like worst actor.
That's funny.
And most unfunny comic relief for painfully unfunny talking bulldog. Oh, wow. Okay. I actually kind of liked Mr. Beefy, but
some of the scenes you're like, okay, Mr. Beefy, enough. But
yeah, it is all too much. But I think that's what we like about Adam Sandler movies is that this was one that like had a certain formulas that really aggravated me for a while. But I don't know, as I was able to see all the other elements in place, I was like, okay, I can see some charm to it.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't have a lot of his movies. He's usually the hero. He's usually the idiot. Or something, something's happening, or sometimes he's the big jerk. But this time he was kind of the idiot. He meets a girl, who it's like, wait a minute, she's too pretty for this dopey guy, or something, or why, So it's usually, sometimes, usually there's something that his character is saving or letting people realize, like, wait a minute, we need to change. So there usually is some moral or ethical thing that you're learning or hearing wrapped among this really bad accent and stupid attire and everything.
Yeah, for sure. There's always like a little bit of like a golden nugget, like moral story, like amongst all the ridiculousness, the layers of it. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And he kind of puts them in similar, he I think showcases them in similar manners in his movie, but maybe like in different ways, like the same kind of categories, but like in different ways of showing it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I think it can be kind of similar like that. Like he'll kind of change up, like how does this person have a tough life, or what is the character like? But he has similar elements to the plot.
Yeah,
but yeah, and it's I think that's what people like us really like about Adam Sandler. It's just it's something that works even in this movie, which I really did not like. I found charm in it, you know.
Yeah, Tanya was, I'm sure you guys hear like in other episodes, Tanya's like, no way, I'm not going to watch this movie. It's so dumb. It's the worst. And I'm like, but it's Halloween. It's, you know, like if we're doing Hubie, why can't we do Little Nicky? So
that's true. That's true.
I apologize for all of you that may have watched Little Nicky again, but it is funny in a sense. I mean, there are some parts where you're like, oh, let me just fast forward this or just go to the bathroom during the scene.
Yeah, take a break during that. But that can be some of the like it's just some are more your taste than others, right? You know, and for me this one was not at the top. It was very, very much at the bottom. But I'm glad we rewatched it with this like lens in place, this perspective. So yeah. But yeah, I think, you know, there's a lot of, you know, like you said, the hero's journey, he like proved himself and he found his place. You know, Nicky also embraced who he was. He like wasn't trying to be like his brothers, and his father saw that. He found a place for himself. And then at the end, like, you know, Nicky, we see kind of how the characters all ended up, and Nicky ends up, I'm guessing, marrying Valerie and having like a kid with her, who's, you know, got some demon qualities probably. And I think like Mr. Beefy reunites with like his rat girlfriend or something, and they had kids.
Yeah, and then they have rat puppies or something. So
yeah. Satan and Holly, they were unable to deal with their long distance relationship, but it said that Satan was linked with like the Blair Witch and Cher, and Holly immediately fell in love with her new aerobics instructor, Chris Farley, which is like he always gives a tribute to his buddy.
Yeah.
So I like that. That was really funny. And then the metalheads, right? They ended up, they got the reward money that was for like finding Cassius, right?
Yeah. They got like a few $1 million and something.
Yeah. And they ended up just like a couple of idiots that they are. You know, they bought an airplane, stocked it with a bunch of stuff, and they didn't hire a pilot. So of course it took off and just immediately crashed, and they ended up happily in hell. You know, kind of like just dancing around and having Nicky's old room, and just that's like their
dream.
Yeah, that's where they wanted to be. So like everyone pretty much, you know, ended up the way that they you know, kind of felt happy, I guess.
Except the brothers, but that's another story.
Oh yeah, the
brothers remained in the thing and just had like their own demise. Yeah,
which you if you watched it, you know what that is. But yeah, so this was, you know, pretty good movie, and definitely a lot of Halloween themes in there with, you know, the hell and spookiness, yeah, and everybody, like all the characters, all like the monsters and hell and everything. But a good movie to kind of show, you know, being true to yourself and also finding your place, I think are some good takeaways.
Yeah, and you know, it's okay to be the youngest child and not following your siblings, you know, examples or being just like them. It's okay to have a little individuality and not worry how others are going to act or react towards you.
Yes. As from two youngest children of gauntlet, just like, you know, broods of children, we fully relate. Yeah, so that's true. That's another good point.
We relate to Nicky.
Yes. But yeah, so it was I'm glad that we decided to watch this. I think it definitely has converted me to being like, if it's on, I'd be like, well, I could keep that in the back if I just kind of with the voice, if I just manage it. I was able to manage it and just kind of, you know, go around it.
But you don't really see that playing, like it's no Waterboy, like where they show Waterboy like on TBS or whatever, like every single day it seems, but you never really see Little Nicky streaming anywhere.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. Maybe because it did get like worst picture or whatever, and so maybe it's like, I don't know, but there probably are like some like cult followers, and like you know, there always are for his movies.
Because people love bad movies.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I would watch it again. I would, and I never thought I'd say that. So
okay, good.
I am converted. So yeah, maybe if you haven't watched in a while and you didn't like it, wasn't your favorite, try it again. Try it like if the voice, you know, annoys you or something, try to kind of just focus on some other things. And it actually it's goofy, it's funny, you know. If you like Adam Sandler, you really can appreciate it because
Mm-hmm.
We certainly do here. I think that's fairly obvious. But yeah. So yeah. Oh, so this brings us to are we all set with Little
Yes.
Nicky? I was gonna bring us to the question.
I think so. I think if anyone else feels like we didn't cover everything, reach out. We'll debate.
Okay. So
yes.
This is like an age-old question, but if you were to, our question of the day, if you were to, the way that it's portrayed in the movie, Little Nicky, have to go to heaven or to go to hell,
yes,
which would you choose?
Well, I think I would choose heaven just because it seems like it's a little more fun. And even though I don't think I'd want to hang out with all the group of girls because it seems very much like a sorority, hopefully I wouldn't have to hang out with just the angels, but I think it would be a little more freedom and a little more fun. But so yeah, I don't think I'd want to be in hell. What about you?
I think with the way it's portrayed in the movie, I might want to go to hell. Like, and it's not because, I mean, obviously I wouldn't want that really, but like the way life, in the movie, it seems like it's not so bad. Like, I mean, as long as you didn't, you're not like Hitler or
getting
anything.
Tortured. Yeah, you don't want to.
Yeah. It seems like if you kind of are there and you're, maybe just there, like
hanging out,
kind of do your own thing, but maybe it wouldn't be so fun because I don't think I'd really relate to a ton of people there. So I don't know. I guess it just kind of seemed fun with the end scene with the metalheads just kind of dancing. I was like, that doesn't seem so bad.
But they're also just brainless idiots. So
and that's kind of true. I would get bored with that. Like it would be, probably or if I really had to make the choice, it would be heaven. But I guess I'm just saying like hell didn't seem so bad.
Yeah,
like,
it didn't seem. It's definitely portrayed differently than in other movies or books or anything like that. It seems like it wouldn't be like 24-hour torture.
Yeah. If it's obviously if it's I would not want that. But yeah, I guess because our job is so much like doing good for so much. I feel like it just kind of is like exhausting. And I feel like if that's kind of what you have to do in heaven, like maybe, but it seems like they do some other fun stuff and, like they go dancing and stuff like that. So I'm just really, I'd probably say heaven, but maybe I'd visit hell here and there or something if I could or no.
Or ask if we're allowed to listen to other music.
Heaven. Because that would be good. That's a good idea. Yeah. But let us know what you think. If you are a Little Nicky fan, if you converted like me, if you watched it again, I'm telling you, give it another shot, take another perspective, see how it is. And we love to hear from you. Don't forget to connect with us on all the socials, Instagram at Wicked Psychotherapists, Facebook, The Wicked Psychotherapists is our name. We're on YouTube if you want to see
what we look like.
Yeah, if you enjoy that or want to take a walk in my autumn pathway.
Just pretend like just stare back, stare past Tanya's face and just go for a walk.
Let's go for a little jaunt. Yeah, a little fall walk. But we hope you like this. And let us know if you have any requests, anything that you want to let us know or add on to Little Nicky itself or anything. We love hearing from you.
Or any other Adam Sandler movies, because we have Grown Ups 2 coming up, Billy Madison, and we're going to have to get through and try to figure out other ones that we need to watch. So let us know.
Yeah, we definitely need some. We are Adam centric here. So,
or if there's any spin-offs from other of his people, like Steve Buscemi or someone like that. Like if you're like, gotta watch Reservoir Dogs, or you gotta do this, or something. I don't know.
That's a direction. Yeah, we could definitely think about that because Steve Buscemi and he's just hilarious. And
I like. Did you finish? I know this is offshoot, but did you finish watching Wednesday with him in it?
I did. Yeah.
I loved him in it. Yeah, he was great. I don't want to give spoilers in case people haven't finished watching it, but it's really good.
But still, like the second one is still fairly new. Yeah. But no, he was really good. Yeah, I liked him a lot. He's very lovable. He's got such a goony face, but I
love him. Yeah, he's great.
But so let us know. This was good. I'm glad that we took a second look at this movie. But and don't forget, stay wicked.
And keep your mind well. And happy Halloween.
Have a good week,
guys. Right. Bye.
Bye.